So I intended this transcription of this piece, of this Recercar, to be paired with Dalza's Spagnola, which is another piece that I've arranged on Werner Guitar Editions as well. So they're both available for download as PDFs. But you could play this piece right afterwards. And you could play it quite attacca, like go right from this one right into the next one because it ends in D. So at the end of this piece, you could go right into the next piece. You could even leave out the last chord and go directly in. If you wanted to trick your audience a little bit. So it's a really nice little introductory piece that can lead nicely into that other work. And there's a link for that under both pieces under the video. There's not too much to say about this one. I have a capo on the 3rd fret to put us in lute tuning. One thing that you can consider though, all of the sheet music is arranged for the 3rd string to be tuned down to F sharp. So usually we're at G. But you take your G string and you tune it down to an F sharp. So you can compare it with this F sharp here. And I like to check my A's a lot, and then maybe take a D chord. So now all the notes are 1 fret up. So your A is now on the 3rd fret, for example. Your G is now on the 1st fret. So you just have to make sure that you are thinking in those terms. All the music is fingered for that tuning. And the reason we use that tuning is the original uses that tuning, and so therefore usually the music makes more sense with that tuning and the fingerings fit more nicely. Now in this particular piece you could play it without that tuning, but because I'm playing it with the piece that comes afterwards, I'm using that lute tuning. And putting a capo on the 3rd fret raises the pitch a little bit and kind of lightens it all and gives it this very resonant and light kind of feel that can be very, very pleasant. So there's not much to say about this piece. It's not that difficult. Let's just do a quick walkthrough of it, and I'll just mention a few things as we go. So notice your G is now on the 1st fret there. A Recercar is kind of like a loose imitative piece. In this case, Dalza's Recercars are pretty much like a prelude or pretty loose, but there's some imitation, like all of this. All this voice exchange that happens, like in the 2nd line. And then the lower voice. And then the upper voice. And then the upper voice again. Lots of like figuration that goes between the voices, but it's not that imitative in this particular case, but it's still very pleasant and it's definitely there, so you want to make use of it when you can. So going on from there, from bar 7, I do a little slur there. You could just pluck it like a lute player would probably do, but a slur smooths it out a little bit. A little bit of a stretch here, but there's not much of other solutions that you can do. You just have to do the stretch. That part there. Just have to know all these chord shapes. There's like really only a few chord shapes that get used a lot, like the D chord and the A chord, which look different when you have this tuning, but nevertheless, just a few different like chord shapes that you need to know, and then it just ends. Dalza's kind of written in ornamentation at the main cadence points there. So just like a nice almost improvisatory delivery is really nice. Make a little bit of the counterpoint or the imitation that occurs, but for the most part, just like a nice relaxed delivery. Not too straight. That won't give it much of that introductory feel or that kind of this voice and then that voice imitative feel across the voices. So just a nice relaxed. Just a nice relaxed delivery will serve the piece very well.